Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always,
Erik Icarus.
Eric.
What's up, man?
You can find us on the gram at REC Podcast. You can follow myself at Roman REC Podcast. And you can follow the shop at REC Comics. Check us out there. We got some good deals on some slab books, some raw books, all kind of stuff. And come check us out at the store, 7679 North Union Boulevard in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Dude, because baby, I like it raw.
Baby, I like it raw. We got raw books, kids. Raw books. You know, it was funny. I felt like when we did our con in June or whatever, we had more success with raw books than we did with slab books.
We just brought 2 or 3 long boxes.
Yeah.
And they're pretty much picked through at the end of the day. People like to fill out their collections, I'm assuming.
Yeah, run fillers and everything. But I mean, we had keys, raw keys, but then... a lot of our slabs, we did sell some, but we sold more raw keys than anything. You know, I think it's just because there's potential with the raw key, you know, whether or not you're going to get it pressed or cleaned. Maybe you had a beat-up version of that or whatever. But, yeah, when it comes to the slabs, you know what you're getting. And I like that, but maybe some people don't. I don't know. We have another con coming up in December. We'll talk more about that as we get closer.
Do you like it raw?
Baby, I like it raw. Yeah, raw books. Yeah, raw books. Slab. I like them all. I like them all. I like it all. Okay, I like every flavor, raw or sealed. Okay, raw or sealed. Comic books.
You gotta wrap it up sometimes.
Sometimes you gotta seal
You
them
gotta
up.
protect it.
Yeah, you gotta protect the comics.
Books. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know if you know what I'm getting at here.
I don't, man. I really don't. But you know what I do know we're getting
You
at.
gotta play it safe with those books.
Your boy. That's your boy, guys. Talk to your boy. All right. Man, we got.
Yeah.
What is that? Episode 3 now?
Drace.
3
Episode Musketeers.
of What If. And I must say, this might have been my favorite as a whole of the first 3 episodes. Yeah. And because this was the one I knew the least about of the first 3.
Oh, me too.
So
I didn't know when I saw this, like when it started, I didn't know where they were going.
There was a genuine like mystery, and maybe they showed more of this in a trailer. I didn't see it, and I was, I don't want to spoil it if you have not seen it yet.
Just some big beats here.
Some really interesting story. I just love how we're getting this kind of what if MCU, because while I thought it was going to be, that, I didn't realize what I was going to get.
Oh. Well, because like you say, because the first 2 we had already been privy to the plot, through the news. They were telling us, Captain Carter, and then we're gonna get the T'Challa Star-Lord. We all kind of knew we were getting those. We could kind of figure where they were gonna go, which they were great. But I'm also feeling that these what if episodes, I'm liking every one more. So
yes.
This third one is my favorite episode at this point.
Same here, man. Same here. And there was I think also what's helping is the fact that they've got so many of the actual voice, the actors voicing their particular roles. So you really do get that. Like these are these characters that I'm familiar with,
right.
Which I think is so genius. Like I didn't expect that as a whole. I knew, I knew we were going to get these couple episodes. I didn't realize that the whole thing feels like it's going to be MCU what ifs, which again, brilliant. Because that's how you're not going to get the people who have just been enjoying the MCU, and then you give them what if Gwen Stacy had lived. Like you're not going to get.
You're not going to get them, but you'll get me.
Yeah, but that's not
that's not what they want. They want their MCU fans, which in turn are we're also MCU fans. So they are going for. More the more broad audience, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm digging this. I'm so digging this. I'm glad they're keeping it in line with the MCU. Not deviating too much,
Are you aware of what's known as Fury's Big Week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like that one shot, right? Or was it a Marvel MCU one shot thing?
It's it was a series of comics, but it is based in the MCU because basically Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, and Thor 1 all take place the same week, which is why this was so cool, because this is known as Fury's Big Week.
Right.
And that's basically what this was for me, was what if Fury's Big Week.
Right.
We do, what was the actual title of it? I know you looked it up.
I did. I've already forgot it.
What if Earth's mightiest heroes
had never been?
Or something like that. And we get this kind of this story where we're getting again in those 3 films. What if the world lost its mightiest heroes? And we're getting kind of him, Nick Fury, putting together that team, during Iron Man 2. Remember when Tony has the palladium poisoning and we have Black Widow give him the shot in the neck and everything. We have our heroes being, taken out, moved elsewhere, and something is happening in this version of the MCU to stop the Avengers from forming.
Right.
And it kind of gives us a very interesting idea of what could have happened if the Avengers never came, if they never assembled.
Right.
Does Thanos' army come unimpeded? Does Asgard come to Earth looking for, retribution for something? There was a lot of really cool moments in here, revisiting old stories. Especially, I like the touch of them kind of doing the Incredible Hulk style film, but having Mark Ruffalo voice the character.
Right. And it did look kind of like the '08
Yeah.
Hulk, though, too. A little nod to that.
Yeah, exactly. It was like all of that stuff from there. The stuff with the pizza parlor.
Yeah.
I didn't see if it was Liv Tyler, if she came back to
highly
voice.
doubt that.
I doubt it, too, but that would have been nice. That would have been a really nice touch. But we got a lot of references to that film. In that whole glass hallway at the college where when General Ross and even Blonsky show up to try to bring in the Hulk, so we get a whole retelling of that scene. Like you said, this was our favorite episode of the 3
Big
so
time.
far.
It seems the most what if actual episode.
Yeah.
If I were, it seemed the most comic book kind of what if episode. This does seem like something you would have read in a what if comic book. The other 2 episodes, I could maybe see them, but definitely more MCU based. I could definitely see this working out as just, the normal comic book Avengers.
Yeah.
And what if so-and-so had, done what they did in this?
Yeah, the first 2, they really felt like the stories were cut off well enough to where you don't really need to see any more from them.
It was perfect.
But this one, it was like, if you wanted to do a part 2, I'd be all for it.
I would be super stoked about it.
I would be all for it. And we were very quick to talk spoilers in the previous 2. That's how good this episode was, guys. If you haven't caught it up, we'll talk about it in the next episode. We'll be talking the spoilers, but I really want to give you guys a little bit of time on this one because I didn't know that much about it, and I really, really enjoyed the story reveal, the voice actors used, the plot.
Yeah,
it was solid. It was solid.
It was good. It is the best one to date, and we'll see if next week's Doctor Strange one lives up to it.
Yeah,
because I don't know if it can. This one is super good.
Yes,
definitely my favorite of the bunch.
By the time you guys hear this, you will have seen the Doctor Strange episode, so it'll be I can't wait to talk about that episode next week because
we'll see what happens.
The darkness is it feels like it's coming, which is weird because there was an article that was saying that there was a Spider-Man story that was rejected for being too dark. I don't know the plot points of that one per se, but I felt like this episode
was real dark.
Really,
there were some
dark
scenes in there. I'm like, ooh, man, that was harsh.
I didn't realize that with our Star-Lord episode in the previous week, dude, it has been a year since Chadwick Boseman passed. Wow.
Yeah, it's been insane, man. It's been And it's cool how this kind of comes out about the same time.
Yeah, I wonder if they were trying. I mean, it would make sense.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good remembrance, and it's good to look back on hear his voice again.
Yeah.
And, it did make me want to watch Black Panther last week, which I did. And
I did too.
I
did too. Yeah.
And I do enjoy that movie so much still. I mean, it's still up there for me. I was excited when it came out, and, and I get how culturally important that movie is. I just love the character.
Yeah.
I've just been a Black Panther fan since day one, and I was just excited to see it, and just to hear Chadwick again was cool, man.
Yeah.
The guy was a legend.
Yeah.
And not just in the movie game, just seemed like a very, very good guy.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes it really relevant because we're still talking about him.
I know, man. And what a nice gift.
And he's still putting smiles on our face. I mean, I'm sad, but I'm still smiling because I'm like, wow. at least he graced us with, some cool movie appearances as Black Panther. He did a lot of other cool movies too. Go check out his other work. It's some good stuff in there. But
for our intents and purposes, he was our king.
He was T'Challa, baby. And we're gonna see where it goes from here. I'm excited to see where they go with
the cha-cha.
The cha-cha, baby.
What I did find that I enjoyed more upon these later viewings of Black Panther is the fact that I really did like that Killmonger character a lot.
I did too.
There were moments where I know you were always a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
There were moments where I just felt like it was a little too over the top, but the other moments are so much better.
Right.
I would still like to see our kind of quasi theory of just like having him take over the mantle as like a redemption arc.
But I said, what a cool way to do a redemption arc.
Yeah.
That is probably the ultimate redemption arc you could do, is have Killmonger take over as Black Panther. I don't know if they'd do it.
I don't think they would, and I don't know if Michael B. Jordan, because Ryan Coogler's involved still. Yes, I think that he could get Michael B. Jordan to come on. But they definitely don't want to force that issue. They want to make it seem natural. And even upon rewatching it, I mean, it would be very simple to explain away that, like, when he pulls the scepter or the spear out of his chest, that it is just like a default thing in the Black Panther suit to like start putting nanites in there. I mean, they literally saved oh God, what is his name? Everett. Oh my God, what's his name? From Sherlock.
Yeah, I know who the white dude.
Is it Everett Ross?
I think so.
Is it Everett Ross? Okay. Yeah, he, they literally fly him from the States to Wakanda and heal him from like a bullet wound in like less than a day.
Oh, totally.
They could, if you're telling me that they can't heal somebody who has the herb in him, had the suit on with the nanotech. Again, you can easily explain.
And then have him in stasis.
Yeah,
he's just sleeping right now. I mean, talking about Black Panther. I mean, it's got a lot of cool stuff, but it's got one of the most wasted villains, in my opinion, Claw.
Yeah,
and Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis, yeah,
playing not Dr. Claw, but the Claw. And I just was a little bummed that we didn't get more of him, because he did make his first appearance in was it Avengers
Age of Ultron?
Age of Ultron, yeah. And I thought we were gonna get a lot more of him.
Yeah.
Was he a prevalent Black Panther villain?
Oh yeah. His appearance is in the very next issue of Fantastic Four. 53, I think, is Claw. Either they both show up in 51, or I'm sorry, in 52. Or Claw shows up in 53, but it's like right there, because Claw's thing is vibranium.
Right.
Like
that's where he generates the
and
sound.
he's like a sound specialist.
Yes,
like that. That's like he just wants to experiment with that, and then it makes him weird. It just makes him weird. I mean,
it's kind of a bummer, because I feel like Marvel does have a bunch of those, like Strucker.
Yeah.
Wasted, completely wasted.
At least we've got Baron Zemo sticking around,
right? Which is cool. But I mean, the guy they had playing Strucker, it was too.
Oh, it
was perfect, and I thought we'd get a little more. But thinking about it, like, what more can you do with him?
I know. Yeah.
He's not Red Skull level threat.
They got rid of Hydra way too quick. Way too quick. And fortunately for me, like, I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so we were dealing with Hydra for years after.
He got his Hydra fix.
I got my Hydra fix. But yeah, I mean, they really did. Maybe they're setting that stuff up with the Contessa Valentina.
Barefoot?
Yeah, the barefoot Contessa Valentina Viper.
Oh, there you go.
Freaking Viper.
Man.
Yeah. Maybe they're setting more up with that character. Who knows? Who knows? Well, obviously they're setting up more with that character, but are they setting up more Shield stuff? Or Hydra stuff?
Are we going into the AIM territory?
I mean, we have had AIM. Remember in Iron Man 3, yeah. Yep. So
I want to see more done with it.
Yeah, it's true.
Because AIM is kind of like the other side of Hydra, right? They're like more.
I mean, no, they're their own thing. They're like a. And anymore, they're actually their own nation. In comics.
Wow!
Yeah, like so they can experiment and stuff, and they rarely go out trying to conquer. But if you come to them with money, they'll help you make things that you need.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
They're their own like sovereign nation, and MODOK is like their ruler.
Of course,
yeah. So
which I hope we get that.
Yeah,
I don't know how you're gonna do it. I mean, I think it'll look a lot like how they did
like Zola.
Yes, yes. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah. It won't be as funny.
I haven't watched any of that Patton Oswalt MODOK show.
I haven't seen it either.
I heard it was kind of funny, but like it's so niche. Like it's ridiculously niche. And I think like some of the Robot Chicken guys do it.
Of course.
Like
it seems like
very
something
much
up
in
their
that
alley,
vein.
you know. I mean, I like Patton. He's all
Yeah,
right.
I mean it's fine. I think he gets more nerd cred than he deserves.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't think he's like I think he likes Star Wars.
He does.
But I think he gets like a lot more outside of that he's kind of like viewed.
There's royalty in the nerd community, which I can back it up. I am a huge Patton Oswalt fan. I loved his stand-up from 10, 15 years ago. He did a tour called the Comedians of Comedy Tour with him and funny enough, it was him, Brian Posehn, a very pre-famed Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, okay.
And he was the opener. That's how old this is.
Oh wow.
And during the special, Brian Posehn, who is probably the most giant comic book fan I ever read about, him and Patton make a lot of cool comic book references during the comedy special, and they actually document him and Brian going to a comic book store on the tour.
Interesting.
And Zach Galifianakis making fun of them for going to the comic book store. He's like, I am not into this at all. Like, that's their thing. I don't know why I got put on this tour, but...
Well, good, man. I have to find a couple... There's been a couple of things. I wonder if anybody's compiled them where he's just like... I've seen him talk about like nerd stuff, and it's like he's not talking about it. Like, I don't know, maybe he's doing a bit, and I don't understand
Are you
it.
talking about Zach?
No,
Patton?
Patton. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know, but I've always gotten
I think he knows his stuff.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
he's definitely dropped a lot of cool references.
Hey, man, if he's a friend of yours, he's a friend of mine.
Oh, for
All
sure.
right.
I mean, I've actually reached out to Pat, and he got back to me. I wanted to interview him for the show,
Yeah.
and he very busy.
Yeah.
But he did actually message me back,
Oh,
which
that's
I
very
was like,
sweet.
Pat, that's
Very
very
sweet.
sweet of you, man.
It's very sweet.
But the guy knows his stuff.
Okay,
man. I will say
fair
he
enough.
does know his stuff.
I won't say another unkind thing about him.
He does
until
drop a lot of odd, very deep cuts comic book references where even the audience is like, "What?"
Yeah, and maybe
I'm
that's
laughing.
maybe that's a problem. Maybe I'm not getting his references. Maybe I don't. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that's wild. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Pat's got nerd cred.
Good.
You know, he's not one of these Johnny come latelys to the comic book scene. Which we love you guys too. But,
Yeah, because like I don't think, and maybe I'm talking out of turn again, but I don't think Ryan Reynolds was that big of a comic guy. Like he discovered Deadpool and got really into Deadpool,
Exactly.
and was like, oh, I need to do this.
It was because I think someone said, "Hey, you'd be good at Deadpool," and he's like, "Who is Deadpool?"
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
I think that's how he. Got
I heard
into
a
it.
similar thing. So
Well, it's crazy. Like I didn't know Ben Affleck was probably the biggest Daredevil fan until he wrote the foreword to Kevin Smith's.
oh wow,
Oh my God, what was the name of Kevin Smith's run on
A Guardian Devil?
Yeah, he did the intro to the trade. He did the forward to it.
oh, I didn't know
And
that.
this was before he became Daredevil, and he talks. Ben Affleck talks about how it was his favorite character as a kid and all that, which I think it kind of
Catholic stuff makes sense.
Oh, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of what pushed him and kind of got him the role. And being friends with Kev probably helped a little bit
Yeah.
too. But I would not expect to see Ben Affleck being a very huge comic book fan going into a comic book store before he was famous, obviously. And seeing that dude buying comic books back in those days.
Back in those days,
It'd be weird because it was very not a thing, you know?
Well, another celebrity in the news a bit is Method Man of the Woo.
M-E-T-H-O-D, man.
Some fan art's been circulating of him as Lucas Bishop, and he seems to be very, very much into it. I remember a few years ago him lobbying when they announced that they were going to have Bishop in I believe Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
That some fan art had gone around then too. I've seen Method in a few things. I actually like the movie How High, and I don't like that many. I don't like that many stoner movies either. But for some reason, How High really resonated with me when I saw it. I haven't seen it since it came out. Around that time, because my roommate watched it a lot.
He did.
But I've seen him in a couple other things.
Right.
And, obviously had that bit part in Luke Cage.
He was fine in that.
Yeah, I'm not fully versed in his acting chops, but this fan art that's been going around Instagram was looking real hot, and I'm wondering. I mean, we got to be.
I will say though, his best acting role was in Copland.
Okay, I didn't see
Copland,
that.
great movie. Go watch it. It's a Sylvester Stallone.
I was gonna say Stallone, right?
Stallone's first kind of like attempt at dramatic acting. It also had Harvey Keitel and De Niro in it.
Nice.
But Method Man plays kind of, he's just this criminal, and he's fighting one of the main police officers on the roof of this building, and he has this vicious fight with this police officer, and he says some cold-blooded stuff to this police officer while he's fighting him, and he acts it very well. It's very convincing, as which I can think he can bring that to the Bishop role.
Yeah,
I can see, because Bishop's kind of he's a baby killer.
He's looking for hope in all the wrong places.
He's trying to kill our hope.
Yeah, man. I'm not against it. I don't know that that Marvel would go that way, because I think they do what they always do, and they get a couple big name people, and then they try to build up some other people, because I'm assuming that they're giving them WWE style contracts. You're not getting you get money eventually, but
you're just getting your name recognition, and recognition is money.
Yes,
eventually.
But you're definitely lucky to be there.
Yes,
at
least
be
happy.
At least that's how they making you feel.
Yeah, I'd be about it though. I think he could do it.
Well, I think
he's like 6'4". He's a big dude. He could play the part, I think.
By this time next year, we should start getting some, as long as Delta variants and all of that aside, as long as nothing gets crazy. We've got to start hearing some X-Men casting by this time next year.
I would say, yeah.
They've had it
or at
long
least
enough.
some name drops within the movie.
Some cameos. It would be interesting if they had, like, the Silver Samurai or, and I understand Japanese, or Sunfire, at least, like, warring organizations. Like, we hear about the Haradas.
Okay.
We hear about the Yoshidas.
Yeah.
Even if we're not...
Because even we got Shang-Chi, which I know is different.
Yeah.
It's very different culture.
Is that Fight Club thing going to be in Madripoor?
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
there's, you could have the Mandarin, being, Chinese, descendant of Genghis Khan, whatever, and then having to, be at war with the Triads, with the Yoshida clan. You can at least mention them so that we're just like, okay, we know we're going to get some of these people.
They did do a name drop in the last season of Daredevil when they are putting the Bullseye back together. Spoilers.
Yeah.
They're fixing his spine, and they do name drop the scientist that was involved with grafting, not Dr. Cornelius.
Yeah, Oyama.
Oyama.
Yeah.
They drop his name in the last frame of Daredevil. He's the one that brought the experimental metal into the hospital. Yeah. Obviously, they couldn't say adamantium at that time. Yeah. But they did drop that doctor's name, and I was like. And I didn't.
Dude,
no one made a big deal about it.
Dude, I don't recall that. Wow.
Yeah, so I think that would be the first official X tie-in drop in the MCU, because technically Daredevil in the MCU.
I mean, Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch.
I know.
Yeah.
I would say that was the first one, because obviously they can't say adamantium, and that, they probably wanted to use Dr. Cornelius, but. Very X-Men.
Yeah. But I mean, I think Oyama is even more X-Men, because you also have Yoriko. You also have Deathstrike. So
that's true. But they got away with it.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I didn't even catch it. At least I don't recall. No.
I mean, it was a very quick thing, and we watched that. Did we watch season 3 together? I think we did.
We definitely watched most of it, if we didn't watch all of it, because I think that's when we were. No, that was Defenders.
We watched. I think the one thing we watched together all the way through was Iron Fist.
Yeah. God.
He was so hyped. You
want to talk about, MCU letting me down, and I get it. This was Marvel Television. It wasn't Kevin Feige.
But they were hitting home runs at this point.
They were. They really were. Jessica Jones had already been good, and so on. Yeah. I guess Daredevil, whatever. But
that little show.
Yeah, the little show that could.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be funny if they just kept everybody and just recast Danny. Like,
they're gonna have to.
I think they can.
Unfortunately, Finn, whatever his name is, he's not Danny Rand.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a couple good moments, but it just. When you saw Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock, that's Matt Murdock. Yeah. When you saw Christina Ritter as Jessica, you're like, and same with Coulter.
Yeah.
They were pitch perfect. Yeah. And then it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And, unfortunately, they based the Defenders around Iron Fist's character, so that's why that effing bombed, And
I was like, dude, this guy can't hold this together. What are you guys doing? Like, Jesus Christ, like, what are you doing here? This is way too much relying on fucking Finn Jones. You know, like, what is going on?
And it sucked because, like, we did watch Defenders together.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, this is so bad. They had my favorite scene in the entire run of that miniseries was when Matt and Danny fought.
Yeah.
And Matt just wipes the floor with Danny, which in the comic books probably not going to go that way.
It's closer.
It's closer.
For sure. It's
but,
much closer.
You know, in this universe, you know, Daredevil had been fighting a lot more,
Yeah.
and Matt's a little more take no prisoners than this Danny ran here. But it was very funny to me watch you know. Iron Fist have to get saved by Jessica Jones because Matt was pummeling him.
Yeah, I did like, you know, their kind of, you know, hallway scene going through like all of that was really cool.
I mean, they always got to have a hallway scene. They, you know, they were the masters at the hallway scene. The best one still is Daredevil
season 1. Yeah,
I mean, come on, that is
so
a masterpiece.
All that red light and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Just visually.
Yeah,
stunning.
you know, they did a great job, and you know, we'll see what the future goes. I mean, you know, we do got X-Men coming, and like I said, we kind of diverged from the Method Man conversation, but I can see it. I want my Method Man to be Carlos Bishop. What's his name?
Lucas Bishop.
Lucas Bishop.
We are going to have to do like a legit casting sometime next year for the X-Men universe. Put some time into it. Really think about it. Talk about some stories that they should do.
They got so many to choose from.
My God,
I mean, Fox screwed the pooch so bad.
How do you do like 9 X-Men movies and like do the same story like 2 or 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
How is Magneto in every freaking movie? And I mean, Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios have to be ecstatic because like, oh, we're only on page 2 of the X-Men world.
Right,
you know,
right.
they have so much stuff they can work with. And I mean, we know they'll go to space. And oh my God.
Because we already established the world out there.
Yeah, it's just gonna be interesting how they deal with the fact that the Shi'ar are so powerful.
Right.
I mean, maybe they're just really deep into space. Maybe
They're trying to stay out of all these, you know, whatever the Kree and the Skrulls and whatever the other established worlds we have. They want to stay out of it. But I think, you know, real quick, I think that Fox really screwed up because they tried to tell the Phoenix Saga in one movie.
Yeah. It's got to be like Feige. It's got to be at least 2.
At least.
And if we can get 3, you know you can do it because we got to go Phoenix.
Yep.
Her death and Starjammer stuff, Imperial Guard stuff, and then Dark Phoenix. Yeah.
I mean,
it could be 4.
It could be. I think it needs to be the slow burn. I think that's what it needs to be. It needs to be the Thanos of the X-Men films. The Dark Phoenix needs to be that very slow burn, and then we get the Dark Phoenix saga as kind of like the end of that era of X-Men. You know,
Interesting.
I think that's how they play it because everyone wants to see it done right, and the only time I've seen it done right on the screen was the animated series. Was the only time it's been done right aside from the book it was based off of. But that was it.
Yeah.
Because they tried to do it 2 times and it sucked both times.
Yeah.
I mean, Last Stand was they tried to shovel like 3 storylines in there. Then we got this new Dark Phoenix saga, and it was just at that point everyone had just stopped caring, dude.
Yeah.
And it sucked.
And I mean, I kind of feel like they're leaning into the Russian thing too. So I think we'll get Omega. You know, we still got Omega Red. We still got Sinister. I mean, I'm shocked that we haven't again Gambit, Strife. Like we still have a lot of like X-related villains that are interesting. X-related heroes. Like not having a usable Gambit is just such a freaking travesty.
It's been you know how many times we had Taylor Kitsch as a Gambit at one point, and it was
just once,
one time. And then we had Channing Tatum as him as for you know he signed the contract.
Yeah. He probably got a little bit of money, which upsets me.
But I don't know. Well, you know, just a lot of cool things coming down. Future's looking pretty bright for us nerds.
Yeah.
You know. But I just want my Starjammers movie.
Yeah.
Rated X.
Kids, that's our show. If you like what we're doing, please hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment below. Tell us what you think about the What If series. You want some Method Man in your Bishop or some Bishop in your Method Man, as Eric would say. And just let us know what you think of the show. Give us some show ideas, some topics you'd like to talk about. Message us on Instagram at RAC Podcast. Eric, do you have any final thoughts for us today?
Who's your favorite Starjammer?
Dude, I'm a Corsair guy. And then, if we're talking about Method Man, there is a Not a Rizza, but a Raza.
Yeah, there is Raza.
I like Raza.
Mine's Chode, baby.
Yeah, of course you like Chode. Of course you do.
Kids, you don't know. There is a superhero named Chode out there. He's a big green Chode. Look him up.
Kids, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. I have been your host, Roman Chavez.
I am Chode.
The Icarus. We will catch you guys on the next podcast.